to unearth the past and present and explore prehistoric bones, teeth, and more from mighty dinosaurs like the T-Rex and Triceratops. It's an exciting adventure with life-size dinos and hands-on discoveries. Exploration Dinosaur is open daily now through October 5th. Visit MilwaukeeZoo.org for more information.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist, end the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open with music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Colorado.
Hey, it's Kyle across the Northlands, Brad Norman. Ready for a fresh ride? Tsunami Express Car Wash is now open in New Berlin. Serve to Tsunami Express and enjoy free washes, giveaways, and membership deals during our grand opening celebration now through July 6th. Tsunami Express uses best-in-class technology, making washing your car fun, fast, and easy. After your wash, enjoy our free premium amenities like powerful vacuums and air for your tires. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at tsunamiexpress.com/New Berlin.
All right, Will, go.
We are moving along slowly. Rain that came down earlier this morning really kind of wreaking havoc. We've got eastbound 94 at Holly Road, an accident that's got the outer lanes blocked. Center lane only the lane available to use.
All right, Will,
And then
go.
a little bit further on at about 35th Street, we've got another accident off on the left shoulder. Broken down vehicle on northbound 94 just before you hit Ryan Road. That one's got the right lane blocked. And just basically going to be slow everywhere, so just be extra careful. We've got southbound 41 slowing from Hamilton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. And then the northbound side is back up right around the North Avenue curve. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Keep forecast today, isolated morning showers, cloudy early, then more sun in the afternoon. A high of 83. Tonight, partly cloudy, lower humidity with a low of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Laska on 94.5 ESPN.
All right,
Hey,
Will,
this is Gabe
go.
Nigel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The right way to start your day. This is Jim, Gabe, and Chewy.
And Dario looks over and says, "Oh my gosh, I know why you're sneezing so
All right, Will,
much."
go.
He says, "You're sneezing through your mouth. You have to sneeze through your nose." Meeting new people, you know, that's how you usually do.
Excuse me.
He said, "Everybody knows
All right, Will,
sneezing
go.
is something is tickling the hairs in your nose. And the only way to stop sneezing is to expel what is in your nose. And the way to do that is to sneeze."
I said God bless you. Is that so? The question is, did you allow a space for the husband to come in with
All right,
his
Will,
God bless
go.
you? Because as the husband, he has the right to first refusal. This is Jim, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the corporate offices, One Call That's All Studios at the Avenue. Gabe Nigel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen
All right, Will, go.
Sounds like our guy Chew has some big plans this weekend.
I don't know about big.
Oh, geez, here we go again. It's
I
like
don't
the
know
Cubs Brewers series all over again.
Big.
Yeah, because that was ginormous. Big.
No one
season
said it
changing.
was ginormous. We said it was a big series. Then Chewy reframed it to say it was a huge series.
Well, I'm curious because I'm a curious person.
Curiosity killed the cat. Remember
So
That I heard is not how the phrase goes.
how's it go?
Now I got to look it up. I saw this the other day on Instagram. This is how this happens. Curiosity killed the cat,
I thought it was the feline.
but, and there's a rest, satisfaction brought it back.
Because cats have 9 lives?
Maybe. All I know is it said everybody thinks it's curiosity killed the cat, and it's supposed to deter you from it maybe stepping out of your comfort zone or following that lead. But it said most people don't know that the next line is, but satisfaction brought it back.
I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with anything.
Cats have attitudes, anyways.
Yeah.
They need an
Damn
attitude
right they do.
adjustment.
Yeah.
Unlike all of us.
Why do they
on
think
this
they're
show.
so cool everywhere they walk?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm a cat. Ooh.
Cats suck.
Nah.
Stink. Get
You
them
know, I
out
don't
of here.
mind pet. I'd rather pet a cat than a dog.
You're petting the wrong cats.
Why?
Dogs are much more appreciative
They're
when you pet 'em.
wiry.
Huh?
What do you mean they're wiry?
They're not soft. Like maybe a poodle.
What type of dogs are you petting?
Can I tell my damn story?
Well, if you don't say such ridiculous things.
Okay, we'll get back to it. So we have friends in Chicago that live in Tampa with us, good friends. I gave them a great nickname. My mafia nicknames are the best.
Sure.
Billy Steaks.
Is this his nickname or another
His.
example? Okay.
I gave it to him, and he loves it.
Because he likes steak?
He's a great cook.
Do you spell steak S-T-E-A-K or S-T-A-K-E?
I've never spelled it.
Well, doesn't
That
it?
tracks.
Wait, hold
I
on.
got Donnie knee brace. That's a good one, right?
Does he wear a knee brace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what gave it away? How did you come to that conclusion?
So we're meeting them in Racine. They love supper clubs. They love supper. And I love supper clubs. I think supper clubs are so cool. So we're meeting them at Hobnob. You ever hear of it?
Yeah. I've
In
heard
Racine?
Hobnob, yeah.
Looks cool. Hour, 10 minutes.
That's a bit of a trek for you.
How far would you drive to go to a good restaurant?
See, part of that depends upon where you live. Because now that I live in Milwaukee, not that far. I don't have to go that far to find a good restaurant. However, when I was younger, like when we had to go and like for homecoming to take your date to an actual restaurant, like you had to drive. There's not a lot of great restaurants.
Did you go to Milwaukee?
We would drive to Madison because Madison was about 45 minutes. We could get to the east side of Madison in 45 minutes. So that's what we would do a lot in terms of taking like your date to a nicer restaurant. Because again, Ginger's Hideaway in Horicon, it's not
Shout out
exactly
Ginger's.
not the place that you're going to be taking your homecoming date.
But Ishnala, that is the end-all, be-all of all supper clubs.
Yeah.
I would turn and burn. That's an hour 30.
For you, yeah.
Would you turn and burn or no?
At Ishnala, if I'm going up to Ishnala, I'm probably staying over in the Dells.
Okay. How far would you drive?
Hour? Maybe?
Because when I lived in Green Bay, I would drive to
Milwaukee?
Serafino's.
Where's that?
Which is in Sheboygan, and that's a good hour 15.
Mm-hmm.
A turn and burn.
Okay. You would drive or they drive you?
I ain't driving home.
Kinda-
Just like tonight.
That's just
I
responsible.
ain't driving home. I'll drive there.
Wait, what time are your reservations?
7.
Okay, so you spend, 2 hours at dinner? How long do you spend at a supper club?
2 hours. Starts with cocktail, old fashioned.
Again, feels
right?
good, right? You don't want to rush something
No.
like that.
Yeah.
You want to be able to savor it.
So probably half hour at the bar and then dinner and then bolt? Probably 2 hours.
You probably have a
So 9.
dinner post, a
Home by-
post-drink
home
dinner,
by-
or post-dinner drink.
Home by 10:30.
Yeah, that's not bad. I
don't think most people would drive.
You don't think most people would drive the hour and a half?
Yeah.
Or hour 10 for you?
Correct.
Hour 10. Joshy, what is it for you? How far will you drive for a good restaurant? Something that, like, you can tell our guy over here is salivating.
It's probably a half hour. It would need to be, for me to drive over an hour, it would need to be like I'm going to a 5-star Michelin rated type thing because I believe in Milwaukee there are plenty of things that would offer any sort of fare and some of it very, very good depending on where you find yourself. I just don't see the need to drive that far.
For a cool place, good food.
Okay, so that's interesting. What makes it cool?
Like Ishnala, right? They got trees growing out of
There it is.
whatever it
the
is.
arborist over here.
Yeah.
I think we
Well, no,
nailed
they've got the river
requirements.
there. They've
The
got a
bar
couple
that
different
you
bars.
walk down, and it's cool. It's just the ambiance. I think ambiance is huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it's got that old school feel to it.
An ambiance can cover the warts of an average meal. How's that?
Interesting.
Can the company do that too? If you're with good people?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Because I'll probably have prime rib, which most supper clubs have.
Yep.
Not expecting anything great.
Our guy's got 12 hours before he's even going to walk through the door of the supper club.
Yeah.
And you're over here like,
Oh, I already know what I'm ordering.
he's
Right?
so jazzed.
Well, what is it? Give me your order.
Probably French onion soup,
All right.
salad,
Of
maybe
course.
the Caesar. I don't know. Apps. What's a good app at a supper club? I'm feeling. You know what I'm feeling? Some bacon wrapped water chestnuts.
Really?
Very
Wait,
simple.
What is that called? Ramaki?
Correct.
Ramaki? You in or you're out. The problem with Ramaki is if the water chestnuts aren't crunchy, they're terrible.
Got to be crunchy.
Yeah.
It's the texture.
Throw 'em away.
Yeah. You got to have that.
Yeah.
Because the bacon is not going to be
snack.
crunchy. It's going to be chewy.
Yeah, because
You
it
need
has
that.
to wrap around it.
I've never been to a supper club.
Oh,
Ever?
you're missing
No.
out.
Any of them at all?
Correct.
You haven't accidentally happened to do a supper club?
No, I've never been. So I think I got to make that a to-do list thing.
There's
Yeah.
a great one by you, not
Yeah?
far.
All right.
Jailhouse, I think it's called. It's probably 20, 25-minute drive.
Okay, I'll take a look at that. I think I need
Ambiance
to
is
this summer. I
awesome.
got to get my butt to a supper club, right?
Yeah.
Got to make it happen. I also saw something, and the reason I asked about what you're
I'm
looking for
surprised
when
we
you
haven't
go.
kicked you out of the state yet.
I know, right?
You've been here
Well,
you've
I've
been
been-
here for a while. Between your time at Marquette, your time at Fox 6, and now this time around, you've been here quite a while.
I've been keeping it under wraps, Gabe.
I contend there is a child born within the past 3 weeks that's been to a supper club.
Well, yeah.
3 weeks.
It's like
3
Sweet Home,
days.
Sweet Home Alabama here. You have a baby in a bar. Yeah, it's not shocking that you would have a baby in a supper club here in Wisconsin. I saw something on the internet the other day, and this is why I bring this up about the ambiance and what do you need for like a must-go-to place. There were some dudes a few years back that created an entire restaurant online only. And what they did was they put out some social posts, and then they went to Yelp and they did some Yelp reviews, and they said that it was a reservation only. But anytime anyone called the number, they said they were completely booked until 3 months down the road. So then people were saying, "Okay, we'll take that reservation, and we'll take that reservation," and then they kept putting out fake posts about how great everything was, some pictures that they took around the kitchen type of thing, and the restaurant didn't exist. It was not a thing, but people wanted to be there because it kept clicking up the list of the top-rated restaurants in their city. It was a total fabrication. It was totally didn't exist. And I find that interesting that when Chewy talks about places he wants to go, some of it is just the idea of, well, everyone else has been there. Well, this is the number one place in town. Like, what's a spot in Milwaukee that you hear about that everybody goes to, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, we should go there because everyone else has gone.
The new one is room service, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's like the new hot spot where it's really hard to get a reservation. But places like Carnivore are places where there is a certain exclusivity and a certain elevation of fare there, where it is like it's not uncommon at Carnivore to run in with any professional athlete that's in town for whatever reason.
Like Sanford, you got to make like a
I've been
month
there.
in advance.
Yeah.
You got to make plans to go there a month in advance because
Yeah.
it's that far out to get a reservation.
Super bougie, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get too cute.
Of
You know.
course.
Yeah, but I mean, Sanford, it stood
No,
the
it's a
test of
great
time.
restaurant,
Well, I'm
yeah.
just saying it
It's
stood
a
the
great-
test of time. It's been there
Yes.
for 30 years.
Right.
Yes.
There are, and Jen, sort of to your point, there are places you can see are trying to manufacture the exclusivity. And then you get there, you try it, and you go, well, that probably wasn't worth it. And you guys are doing a thing here. Like, this is largely marketing, not something like the places you guys have mentioned where it's a long history of quality and people being satisfied that then increase the amount people want to go there.
I got people weighing in on the Carbless Talk and Text line this morning, 800-990-3776. And this one is the one I want to start with. It says, as someone who's never lived in Wisconsin and hears about supper clubs all the time, what exactly is one? Justin in Jacksonville. What makes a supper club a supper? Can you just call yourself a supper club? Or are there certain requirements and distinctions that you have to adhere to or meet in order to be called a supper club?
Well, it comes from the old days where wasn't there dancing there too? Way back?
I mean, probably.
Dancing or entertainment?
I mean, nowadays, First and foremost, you need to have a prime rib Saturday night special.
Yeah.
And
first and foremost,
and,
if you do not have a prime rib Saturday night special, you are not a supper club.
Carpeting throughout.
Yes.
Another one, yes.
And you have to make a really, really good old fashioned.
Of course, yeah. For a Wisconsin
Yes.
supper club, you need to make a good old fashioned.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there like an environment you were talking about vibe that it sort of has to fall into? Wood paneling? Are we talking like
Can't hurt.
antlers on the wall? I mean,
When you're in the Northwoods, yeah, but it's not, it's not a requirement. But again, the further north you go, the more likelihood of some sort of animal head on the wall increases.
A bar that takes up a quarter of the restaurant where everybody who is waiting for their meal or just finished their meal can have it.
Relish tray.
Relish trays are big.
You got to have a good relish tray with the little pickles.
Gherkins.
Yeah. I ain't sharing.
what's the difference between that and a cornichino, something like that? You guys familiar with that?
You're getting a little highfalutin for
Yeah.
it.
I thought that's what they were called.
No, it's called a
Cornichinos or
relish tray.
something. I think
And good amount of food.
Oh, yeah. The menu.
You can't leave there hungry, are you?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The portions
Yeah.
are.
So you
plentiful.
get your entree, Jen,
Mhm.
and it usually comes with bread.
Mm-hmm.
The good ones are soup and salad included.
Oh, soup and salad.
Sometimes it's one or the other.
Choice of potato.
Yeah.
Preferably, I'm totally unable to determine what the weather is outside. Once I step in,
Yes.
it could be a thunderstorm, a snowstorm. I won't know because it's so dim in there. The windows are usually covered. You can't really see.
And
so. It's
desserts
like
gotta
Las
have
Vegas.
what?
You
Desserts
want to
gotta
walk
have-
in and
What's a Wisconsin dessert at a supper club?
like an apple something or a cheesecake. I'm just throwing things out there. I
Ice
don't know what.
cream-based liquor drinks are big.
Oh, those are
Yeah.
A
Nailed it.
grasshopper.
Nailed it, Joshy. Absolutely nailed
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
So for the sake of our conversation, I'm going to reformat it like this. How far would you drive for a good supper club? Chewy is driving an hour and 10 minutes tonight to go to a supper club in Racine with his friends from Chicago. How far would you drive for a good supper club here in Wisconsin? 800-990-3776. Man, we got a lot of reaction rolling in on the Carbless Talk and text line. Alan says no TVs. Supper club, no TVs. True, false?
Yeah, I think that is true.
That is true.
Yeah, that's a good call.
There are some modern ones that will put one at the bar,
Yeah.
so you can check the Brewers game, but no one's really locked in. Like they aren't there
No.
for the game.
No, you might peek up just to see
Right.
what the score is, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Dave from Aaron says, Jen, there's a quaint little supper club in Richfield called Alpine Retreat. Seats no more than 30 people. You guys can go and have one of the best meals with drinks and desserts for under $160. It is must go. Then Dustin weighs in saying the Blue Heron Supper Club in Big Bend. All you can eat fried baked fish and fried chicken on Fridays, under $15, and a great old fashioned. Sounds like people have got their spots.
Yeah, you get good value.
Yeah, typically, some sort
Yeah.
of fish deal, fish fry on Friday nights.
And why am I
prime
picturing
rib on
like a
Saturday.
roll? There's got to be a roll
Oh, yeah.
somewhere in
yeah,
there,
of
right?
course.
Like
Sure.
either
You're
a
getting bread.
basket of rolls or a one on your plate. All right, I'm starting to get the picture. You're starting to paint the picture for me of what we're seeing at a supper club. 800-990-3776. How
Josh's
far would
point is
you?
kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
That might help sometimes, you know? Tastes great. Does it look good? No idea. We're going to talk to Jason Wilde this morning. We're going to talk to Craig Carmison this morning. We, of course, have Week in Rechew. And is Lambeau Field going to be one of one when it comes to the other NFL stadiums? We'll get into that conversation with Jason Wilde right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been shaping the future for businesses for 167 years. 167 years. And for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making, and extensive experience to help navigate the ever-changing business landscape with your business in mind. Okay, so what does that mean? At Fifth Third, they're big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, see the 167 years, yet empowered to make local decisions, again, 15 years here in Milwaukee, and build strong community connections. I can attest to that. The people that they have at Fifth Third Bank, fantastic and very active members in the community. Experience the commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Earlier accident on 94 eastbound at Holly Road has been cleared. We do still have delays, though, from 84th Street to Holly. On eastbound 94 at 35th, though, we still have an accident off on the left shoulder causing some issues, so keep that in mind. Westbound slowing down from about 17th Street all the way into the Stadium interchange. Southbound 41 backing up from just south of Appleton Avenue all the way down past Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, isolated morning showers, cloudy early with more sun in the afternoon with a high of 83. Tonight, partly cloudy, lower humidity with a low of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Summer in Milwaukee means a couple of things: Brewers baseball and live music. Get the best of both when the Brewers take on the Rockies June 27th, featuring a post-game concert by Nelly. Then, the first 25,000 fans at the game on Saturday, June 28th, get a Pat Murphy Manager of the Year bobblehead, courtesy of Toyota. Get ready for a weekend you'll be talking about all summer. Get your tickets at Brewers.com.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
With more than 35,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served more than 5 million people globally. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Keep getting us your reaction to Chewy's question this morning. How far would you drive for a good supper club? He's going to do a little over an hour tonight to enjoy dinner with some pals. Folks are weighing in, man. Tracy from Kewaskum says, we do a supper club Sunday, personalized tours from Waldo. I don't know where's Waldo? Oh, okay. All right.
I've driven through it. The top 41. Yeah.
People trying to guess where Chewy is going this evening. You automatically get a fresh basket of bread, a relish tray, a Caesar salad, and creme brulee for dessert. That from Chef Ed.
That sounds good.
Jason Wilde, why don't you answer our trivia question this morning? How far would you drive for a good supper club?
15 minutes.
That sounds about right. And you'd be on your way to one of the girls' practices, I'm guessing, right? And you'd have to swing through and grab some dinner maybe while they're at practice type of thing?
Yeah, I don't know how many times since the pandemic we've been to like a restaurant and like sat down and spent a couple of hours there. Like, I don't think we do that very often. Now that I stop to think about it, I think there's probably count them on a handful of times.
Is Eve still there? Is that Riverside? Remember Eve?
Good question. I didn't realize you were such a supper club guy.
Oh, I love him. Love him.
What, did I miss the explanation as to why? The origin story?
I love the vibe.
Can I cut through all the crap here?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's drinking.
I like a good old-fashioned. And I love prime rib. No, Eve's was the place that Free
Roasted chicken.
That Free made famous.
Yeah, I always...
You know what I'm talking about.
It was always interesting that the real reason for that parking lot crash was never reported. And the switcheroo, Charles Jordan, right?
Charles Jordan. There was someone else that was Jason. There was some.
Yes,
well, I'll tell you off the air.
What a weird thing you guys have going on here. It's like you're talking in code.
There was someone else there that kind of led to his demise as well.
So, for those that don't know this story, since Chewy and I will stop talking in code, Antonio Freeman was involved in a traffic accident in the parking lot of a supper club. And this is the kind of friend Charles Jordan was. They switched spots, and Charles Jordan took the blame and claimed that he was the one who was driving and crashed the vehicle in the parking lot of the supper club. I mean, I don't know. I like you guys. I'm not gonna
fall on the sword.
I'm not gonna take the blame in a car accident and then face like legal charges for you three. Like, I love you, but come on. Yeah. And obviously, yes. And there was some other let me say amorous activity going on in the vehicle that may have caused some of the crash.
But do you get what I'm talking about when I say there was someone else there that led to his eventual demise?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I definitely
Did
do.
you know that? Did you know that?
I did.
Okay.
Free told me that about a year later.
Looking at me like that for?
Do you want to share with the class what you're talking about?
I don't. Yeah,
Figure it out.
Can't. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Again, my only clue is amorous activity. Chewy, look it up. All right. What else? What else you got?
Jason, Andy Reid considered a top 5 coach of all time.
Ooh. Lombardi, Paul Brown,
Shula,
Bill Belichick, Don Shula. Don Shula was one of the ones I was going to say. He's got to be in the discussion. I was talking with somebody yesterday just randomly about Mike Holmgren. I still can't believe that this stupid new rule about having to get 80% of the vote from that committee, that he did not get in. I understand that I understand he's not Bill Belichick, and if he'd have won a second Super Bowl, either with you knuckleheads or with Seattle, it would have been a shoot-in thing. But the dude took 3 teams 2 organizations to the Super Bowl. Like, how did anyone not vote for him in that? And now, Belichick is going to be on the ballot for coaches next year, so Mike's going to have to wait another year. And I hope he's extremely healthy and he gets to be inducted while he's still with us. That was stupid.
Did the media like Mike?
I did. I don't want to speak for anybody else. I do know that he read our work more than other coaches, especially LaFleur, because he used to call Tom Silverstein at 6 o'clock in the morning to ream him out for something he didn't agree with in the newspaper. But yeah, I think so. I think all of us, and especially now, I think all of us have really good relationships with him. But no, I mean, he could be tough to deal with, especially, for me anyway. I started in 96, so I had 96, 97, 98. Obviously, things were not always great in 98 when he was yelling at fans and stuff. But, he paid attention to the media. He read everything that was written, and he corrected ththings that he believed were inaccurate. So I think there were times when it was contentious for those guys. I wasn't our lead writer, so it wasn't quite as it took him probably 2.5 of those 3 years to know who the hell I even was.
For whatever it's worth, guys, I did pull up the NFL head coach's wins and winning percentage. Shula's won in both categories. Well, he's won for career wins, 328. His career win percentage is 67%, 67.7. Hallis has 318 career wins, 682 for his career winning percentage. Bill Belichick is third, and Andy Reid is fourth. 273 career wins, and he has a 65.1 winning percentage. So that would put him in the top 5. Paul Brown, you mentioned, has fewer wins, but he has a 67.2 win percentage.
So, and Reid did not win a Super Bowl in Philly. He's won all of his Super Bowls in Kansas City, right? He went
Correct.
to one in Philly, right?
Went to one in Philly, went to, 1,000 NFC championship games. Felt like they're going every year and just couldn't get over that hump.
It's true. Yep, I remember that. Yeah, he's in the top 5. Thank you, Jen, for that statistical backup.
Jason, what is Matt LaFleur's biggest strength as a head coach?
Boy, this list has really gotten everybody all riled up, hasn't it?
Well,
because we did the same thing.
Well, so here's my thing with that list, Jason. Like PFF is also like releasing all these other, lists of positions. And right now, of all the ones that they continue to release, like running back's the only one they're top 10 in, and yet they somehow have made the playoffs every year but one under Matt LaFleur.
Gabe's trying to set up an argument here is what he's trying to do, okay? He's trying to set up an argument.
I mean, if they're this bad everywhere else, like how are they doing it?
Yeah. So I think he's got a couple of strengths, first of all. Secondly, just to double check, was Kevin O'Connell on that list?
No,
that we
he was
talked
not
about yesterday?
on the list. No.
Like I think first of all, I think he's better than Matt LaFleur. Secondly, I think they're both really good. Okay, so I don't understand what the metric was for that, and there's a couple guys on there. The Sean Payton one really bugs me. I don't see it, and maybe they'll have a bunch of success this year, and I'll owe him an apology. But like, I just don't. He's Mike McCarthy, but not as heavy set. So people seem to have more respect for his resume than Mike's, even though Mike's is almost exactly the same.
Sean Payton being on the list or Sean Payton being number 2 on the list? Which irks you more?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I mean,
why not both?
Two is too high. Like I think Kevin O'Connell I would love to play for Kevin O'Connell. I think Matt LaFleur has a couple of strengths. First of all, as I think has been demonstrated, I think he's really good with young players. I think he's a really good teacher, and I think he has figured out, perhaps as in survival mode because of the rosters that he's been given the last several years. I think he's really good at getting as much as he can out of young players. And then I think despite last year, which caused me to question this slightly, and I keep going back to, he was talking at the end of the season about them being sloppy, which you never want to be hearing that word down the stretch. And then when he used the Mike McCarthyism of, well, our guys have to win their one-on-ones and get open. And I actually said this to him in a private conversation subsequently. I'm like, man, I thought the whole point of your offense is that you scheme guys open, that they don't need to win their one-on-ones because you scheme them open. And I do think that he and his coaching staff this offseason, not my comments specifically, but that feeling that they had down the stretch last season, have kind of redoubled their efforts to make sure that their offense is doing what it's supposed to be doing. And so I think we're going to see some more wrinkles that we haven't seen before. I think it's really going to be interesting. The guy that I am, I'm not betting money on him, but the guy that I'm really interested to see if he has a greater role is Luke Musgrave, because I think he wants to do a lot more two tight end stuff, and I think that he's predicated a lot of the offensive thoughts on that. And so I think those are his two strengths. I think he's really good with young players, and I think he's a really good offensive schemer, even if it didn't feel that way down the stretch last season.
All right, Jason, I guess it's time to let you go.
That was awkward.
Yeah. Sorry. I was trying to decide if I should ask another question or if I should just roll into Craig Karmazin, but since we are sort of kind of keeping the clock, I figure we'll just let you go on that.
Sounds great. Always great to talk to you guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, Jason.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon. Jason Wilde can be heard on Wilde and Tausch right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy each and every morning here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. We do have Craig Karmazin coming up next. And I do want to get into this conversation with him as well, because we were trying to figure out what the metrics are for the head coaches in that Pro Football Focus list. Is it Super Bowls? Is it Super Bowl appearances? Is it winning percentage? Is it just a general vibe you get when you're around the guy, right? We'll talk to Craig Karmazin about that right after this.
Let me tell you about our friends at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We've talked about them for years here on ESPN Milwaukee, and there is a reason. Because Pella is the best in the industry. They have a product line for every budget, and right now, you can get no interest, no payments for up to 2 years. I'm getting my front door redone at the house. And, of course, the only people I was going through was going to be Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. I can't wait. Finally had that phone call this week of that install date happening in about a month. Can't wait for the beautiful new front door for our house from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. But again, maybe if you're looking for new windows, if plans to wait, get it now, and then wait to start making payments up to 2 years later. Certain restrictions apply, and 6/30/2025. So set your free in-home consultation today. PellaWI.com. And when you go to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, make sure you tell them Gabe Neitzel sent you.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we still have this accident on 94 eastbound at 35th Street. That's got the left shoulder blocked. So heads up with that. It is going to be a bit backed up coming out from 17th Street all the way out to about 35th. On southbound 41, heavy from just south of Appleton Avenue all the way down to about North Avenue. The northbound side slowing down from about Mayfair Road up to Burleigh. And then northbound 43 getting a little bit tight from about Locust up to Keefe. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. John Neal and his team know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today, isolated morning showers, then cloudy early with then more sun in the afternoon, a high of 83. Tonight, partly cloudy, lower humidity with a low of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Don't scroll past summer. Experience it live at Summerfest, because it's more than just a music festival. It's your summer highlight reel. Don't miss Summerfest, June 19th to July 5th. Presented by American Family Insurance. Get tickets at summerfest.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Turn those hoop dreams into reality with Precision Sports, your one-stop shop in southeastern Wisconsin for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator basketball hoop systems, installation of new or old hoops, and completely customizable painted court lines. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for
you? Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
It's Friday, and that means it's time to check in with GKB President Craig Karmazin.
Gabe, you're right. I actually just looked at the stats. No hypocrite has ever won a championship.
Fridays with Mo.
Mark Attanasio, the last thing he wanted to do was play a video and tribute Craig Counsell in any way. So I give Mark Attanasio a ton of credit.
Craig Karmazin on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is sponsored by Landworks Landscape Services. Their creative and talented team will design, build, enhance, and maintain beautiful landscapes in southeastern Wisconsin. Learn more and see their work at landworkswisconsin.com.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the week.
Always great to check in with our friend Craig Karmazin. Good morning, Craig. How you doing today?
I'm awesome. How are y'all?
Where are you today?
What?
No, your connection's not great.
You're digitizing. We're going to reconnect. We'll come back. Yep. Bye. Click. Okay.
I had multiple minutes of conversation with Craig. It was fine.
Oh, of course it was. And he comes on and he's like,
Where's he at?
He's in town. He was at Made 'em Believe. He was telling me all about it, telling me how great the event went.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I imagine he's somewhere close.
Thank you for relaying that information to us, Josh. Also, guessing that we would have discussed that with Craig shortly, but we have to get him back on the line. 800-990-3776 if you want to get in on our conversation that Chewy prompted this morning. He has an adventure planned for this evening with his wife and some pals. They're going to a supper club, and he is driving over an hour to get there. How far would you drive to go to a supper club? Let's ask Craig Karmazin that very question. Craig, not sure if you're as big a fan of supper clubs as our guy right here, but he's driving an hour and 10 minutes to go to a supper club tonight. How far would you drive for a good supper club?
I would probably limit it to somewhere in the 7 to 8 hours.
Wait, what? Okay. Maybe you're digitizing again. 7 to 8 hours?
I mean, like, it would be about, if you're going somewhere for the experience, it's about the experience. So, like, getting there is as much fun as, like, I don't care about food. So, like, to me, all food is kind of the same. It's more like fuel. So, like, if you're going somewhere for a fun experience, then, like, enjoy the experience. Enjoy the ride.
Oh, you have a utilitarian relationship with food?
What in the hell?
Yeah. I'm not really that into it. Yeah.
Wow, this is a big revelation here.
Do you have a favorite food, or is it just all kind of the same?
Yeah. No, like, I love pizza. I love pasta. Like, I like ice cream. Like, I'm not like.
So he's 10.
Yeah. Peanut butter and jelly?
What?
Cheez-Its?
I like without the jelly. Peanut butter without the jelly. By the way, there are these Cheez-Its that actually are like cheese puffs that my daughter didn't want the other day, and they're so good. They're like cheese doodles, but they're Cheez-Its, but they're puffy. They're unbelievable.
Yeah, they're called cheese balls. Everyone loves cheese balls.
Oh, man.
Right?
Until they destroy the roof of your mouth like Captain Crunch.
Craig, did you see the video of the Strofer throwing out the first pitch? No.
Yeah, I did.
Here's the deal. I tried to, because he's embarrassing the station, and I tried to suspend him for a year from touching anything involved in any kind of sport, and he is not adhering to it. And me and Joshy were talking before the show. What are some basic things an athlete should be able to do? We said, like, throw a ball, catch a football from a jugs machine. Yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so are you see, I think, Chewy, what you're getting is that it's the opposite of suspending him for a year. I think you're basically asking him to lean into embarrassing himself every 2 months. So you're saying at Packers training camp, we need to work with the Packers to have him try to catch a football from a jugs machine? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think he should. I really think the trombone or the tuba should be his wheelhouse.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Like, it has to be a sitting band. If they're doing a marching band, I don't trust him to play a trombone and march at the same time.
I agree. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I threatened to move him over to the truth if he didn't adhere to my punishment.
Well,
I don't think
I'm
the
just going
truth
to
would
put this.
take
I'm
him.
just going to put this out there. He would be the least athletic person on that staff as well.
That'd be one of those trades where they immediately release the guy that they just traded for.
I said another one. I said, Craig, in basketball is probably the best measure of whether a person's an athlete or not. You should be able to make 5 out of 10 free throws.
That's fair. I mean, I think it's more like if your free throws are all like hitting the rim, like when you see someone get up and like they airball free throws or they hit the backboard before it hits the rim.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. I don't think you could always look at just make or miss on a free throw.
Now, 5 out of 10 is a strange. I'm not sure that I could nail that down with Giannis, but Giannis has struggled with free throws. Is there anybody in this world, universe, galaxy that would say Giannis isn't a athlete? No. So to me, that becomes tough to make that the barometer.
Well, then you should be able to know just by looking at a person and how he shoots a basketball whether he's an athlete.
I think there's a little of that. I do think there's some of that. Now, there's sometimes that awkward form where all of a sudden they can make it, but I agree. When I look at someone shoot a basketball, I judge pretty quick.
Well, because the thing is, and I know Joshy's now sharing some of the video and the pictures on the YouTube stream. It looks like he'd never thrown a baseball before. So for him to then have the confidence of, oh, I can throw a strike next time, like, I don't know what that form is.
Yeah, but it's unfair for us to see what he did at his NFL Combine, and then without any coaching or training, expect him to go out and throw a strike. Like, it's not us at this point.
Some of it's on him.
All of it is on him.
Should have gotten it. Look, maybe you don't get training because that's taking it a little too seriously. But he didn't even warm up. He didn't even throw before he went out on the mound. That's just negligence.
Too important. You're saying like he and the girlfriend didn't go out to the park a few times and like throw the ball around and have the measure out 6 foot 6 inches. I mean, I would have a catch.
Not flat out dunk. It's that embarrassing. You work for a sports station and you are the least athletic person in this company. That's dumpable.
Don't you think if she was going to do that, she would have, like, I thought the football was like, just pure from a look standpoint, looked worse. Yeah. Like, the baseball, the ball just flies. The football was more like, could I look at him ever the same way again? No. The baseball is more just like, all right, the guy can't throw. I think if she stayed with him through the football, I think the relationship has to be really secure.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. Craig, how was Made Him Believe last night?
Oh, my God. And that's not my favorite Badger team. The 2000 team is my favorite Badger basketball team in terms of just the pure unpredictability and, like, there's no chance this could ever happen type thing. But, I mean, that team is such a different level team, the 13-14 and the 14-15 team. And last night, the crowd was unbelievable. It was one of the best crowds for any event in Wisconsin that I've ever seen. Like, you could take a sporting event and anything. The most engaged crowd, Bo Ryan just being back, and just everyone was so engaged and so funny, and Frank and Sam and Josh together, and Ben Brust did a remarkable job. It was unbelievable. It was at the Orpheum. There were 600-700 people. The entire lower level of the Orpheum was full, and there were people in the top level. It was just fantastic.
So we had been on this week to talk about it, and I said, the only question I want you to ask is, what happened? How was that answered?
Like, how were they that good? Like,
You're up by 12 with
13 minutes left.
Oh, my God. Chewy, you have this, like, obsession. Like, Chewy, you don't understand how hard it is to win 5 single elimination games in a row. You've never done that.
I kind of know a little bit about it. Little bit.
What they accomplished is something that you never accomplished.
How many playoff games did we play before we had to go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, but you lost. You kept losing them.
And people want to know why, and I told them why. That's all I want to know is why did it happen?
But Chewy, the most playoff games you ever won in a row was 3. I mean, they had to win 5 that year. Like, I mean, that is a different level of consistency. Like so to harp on the Duke game is insane when they had the run that they had. And I thought a really interesting piece of that was the fact that they believe they don't ever go to that championship game the next year had they not made it to the Final Four the previous year, because I don't think they believe they they wouldn't be able to raise the bar in their mind and their expectations. But it was unreal to see that group together, and backstage they're just talking. They're like, it's Chewy. It's like you guys. They were literally breaking down plays. Like specific plays, and say, when you pop out and I screen for this and you did, like it was just like seeing you guys back together, and it was so cool.
Craig, how should Bucks fans feel about the draft last night? And can you please help me pronounce the young man's name?
No, I can't do that, but I don't think we can think too much about the draft, because even if you have a draft pick in the second half of the first round, there's a 1 in 4 chance that person becomes a rotation player in the NBA. You know, so once you second round, you can't really have expectations. You know, if something works out, awesome, but I don't think you could have a lot of expectations on a second round pick. I think the interesting thing is you look around the Eastern Conference and it seems like there's 5 or 6 teams that are the teams that have a chance, and the Bucks are one of them. And so that's the exciting thing coming off of this. Obviously, the Cavs and the Knicks come back very similar to where they were. You add the Orlando Magic with the Desmond Bane acquisition. You throw, teams like the Pacers and the Celtics, who both are going to be without their best players. Obviously the Bucks maybe without our second best player. And then you throw a team like the Atlanta Hawks, who they're going to be really good. If people don't remember, right, the Hawks were in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bucks the last time the Bucks went to the Eastern Conference Finals, with Jalen Johnson from Milwaukee, who's now a legitimate all-star, and the additional moves that the Hawks made and acquiring an extra first-round pick next year. The Hawks are going to be good now. So the East is getting really interesting, and we know it's not at the level of the West. So if you're a Bucks fan, you feel like you have a chance. This should be a playoff team next year, and we saw it with the Pacers. If you make the playoffs, you got a chance.
Craig, when was the last time you remember this much excitement around a first-year player the way Brewers fans are excited about Jacob Misiorowski?
Oh, that is a good one. I mean, I would think I would have to go back to the postseason last year and how we felt about Jackson Churio is where I'd have to say. And seeing all those jerseys in the crowd last year and realizing that this guy was...
That was after an entire season, and then he hits those two, like doing something that only Babe Ruth has done in terms of a postseason game. He sold out AmFam Field for start number 3.
Dude, that was like Fernando Valenzuela stuff, like with the Dodgers back in like 1980, like when there was like Fernando Mania. But seriously, to me, the thing that jumped out was like, wow, outside of like Homer and his nonsense takes on Jackson Churio, like we now have 2 years in a row, guys who are energizing the fan base in this way. And specifically the Churio one jumps out because of how long he is signed for. So I don't know what happened at the end of that Cubs and that. Were you guys following? Have you guys talked about this whole not playing the doubleheader thing? Like, whatever that is, that might be a real thing.
Being pushing the doubleheader to August instead of playing it on the 3rd day of the series earlier?
Yeah.
Well,
like,
and they got to avoid Freddie and Miz in the same day because they had to face both of them in the same day.
They avoided Freddie and Miz, but it looked Chewy. I don't know if you feel like when you've had teams, like sometimes they've needed a thing to kind of like, as my daughter would say, PMO them.
Yeah.
And once your team is ticked off, it takes them to another level. But it felt like that last game in Chicago, and even just seeing, the team on the field after they won in Chicago, it almost seemed like they were angry. I just feel like this team is a different team than they were a month ago.
Craig, back to the Miz question. Wouldn't Brett be the comp?
No.
Why?
Because when Brett came, no one cared.
I know, but he beats Cincinnati at the end of the game, and that was his third game, and people went nutso after that.
I think people went nutso, but I don't think. I mean, I think Sam Congato might be the comparison from a Packers standpoint. No, I don't think there's a Packers like Favre mania. Crazy took off, and then like he backed it up. It actually, in a weird way, almost Don Majkowski-esque on some levels. Like that year, like where it was just like explosive, and he wasn't a rookie in that same way, and Brett wasn't a rookie either.
Well, Brett
I don't think
detox year, so he kind of
right. What?
Well, are we calling Miz a rookie?
He is a rookie.
I don't know about.
Is there another distinction you'd like to?
No, Gabe. Because
explain it to me.
He was in AAA or whatever the best A is.
Is that the major leagues?
Gabe, he just said to you,
baseball?
or whatever the best A is. I think you can stop. Right?
Is Miz a rookie?
I think Craig's with me.
Chewy's point, I will say Chewy's point, you could argue, and I could see, he's not new to professional baseball, right? In baseball, it's a little different. You get to play professional baseball first, but he's clearly a rookie. But I think Chewy's brain always comes up with an interesting take.
Well, college football is getting closer and closer and closer to the pros as well. Are we going to sit here and be like...
It is professional football.
Yeah, so... No, but he's a rookie. Matthew Golden is a rookie, right? We all agree with that. Which, speaking of, what if Matthew Golden goes out there and absolutely lights the world on fire in his first few games? Like, maybe they'll have that level of excitement.
Man, to sell out a 1:10 Wednesday game...
But some of it was also Skeens as well, guys. Some of it was the matchup. It wasn't just him going out there and doing it himself. It was that you had Paul Skeens also on the hill for the Pirates.
Yeah, that was part of it, and then he beat Skeens. And now, I believe every Miz event, every Miz start for the rest of the year is going to be an event.
Oh, 100%. And I was talking to Luis over at Potawatomi. He said Sportsbook was jammed.
Yeah.
No, standing room only. Every seat was filled for people who couldn't be at AmFam Field. They were at the Potawatomi Sportsbook taking in the action as well. You weren't here yesterday, Gabe, when Chewy tried to diminish what the Miz had done because it was against the Pirates lineup.
I mean,
oh my God. I mean, Chewy.
They do stink.
Come on.
Craig, it's Tennessee Titans. I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
What he has done in his first three starts.
No, I'm not taking away from that. I'm just
seems
saying.
like
yeah, you really were.
Skeens had a tougher uphill test than Miz did. The Brewers hitting
Here's
is
Chewy's
10 times
take.
better than just pump brakes. You guys get too high, you get too low. You got to be like me.
Yes, yeah,
Here's
exactly,
Chewy's take on it. Miz hasn't won a championship, and anyone who hasn't won a championship hasn't accomplished anything.
All right, you can go now. Can we get some pixelating?
Digitizing. Craig, we appreciate it. Have a good one. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks, y'all. Have a good weekend.
Simplify your everyday banking with Great Midwest Bank like I did and open up a checking or savings account today. Experience friendly, simply local service plus competitive rates, the best of both worlds. Great Midwest Bank even offers 24/7 online mobile banking. Whether it's noon on a Tuesday or Saturday night at 11 o'clock, you can access your accounts when you need assistance. Real people helping your real needs. That's Great Midwest Bank. Simply local and member FDIC.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
The open road is calling, and the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This July, you could burn rubber on a custom Harley-Davidson in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Play with your rewards card all July for entries. Thursday drawings for extra cash and reward play. Fire Up Your Fantasy, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet? Landworks handles projects of all sizes. From a cozy pocket patio lush with greenery to a grand outdoor hosting space and everything in between. Locally owned and operated, Landworks prides themselves on exceptional customer service and a personal approach to all of your landscaping needs. The Landworks team of experts will work closely with you, making your property shine all year. Experience the Landworks difference. Visit landworkswisconsin.com. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
As a fan, you know all the important sports cliches. And when you save money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive, you can get out there and give it 110%, even though that's mathematically impossible. And remember, failure is not an option. Well, it's always an option, just not a good one. But you're not worried because you've got ice in your veins. You're on fire. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, that's between you and your doctor. So get out there and leave it all on the field. Leave what? Who cares? Just leave it and save with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
All power, zero compromise. Eagle cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From mowers and trimmers to blowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it's the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Evan Cohen here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows. Binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on the warm weather vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take your shot with 5-Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5heshot.com for full details and rules and to enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.
Level up your summer projects with 4th of July savings on top brand cordless power tools from the Home Depot. Whether you're working on a fence, a planter box, or a new workbench, get the power and runtime you need with the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2 toolkit from the Home Depot for only $99, was $139. Get 4th of July savings on the cordless power you need to make summer projects easier than ever. Right now at the Home Depot.
The best mornings
In the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Good mornings make for better days.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What do we do? Where do we go from here?
We've talked about insulation, we've talked about fantasy camp, and now we've talked about Burning Man. We've hit for the cycle in the first 5 minutes of the show.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Milwaukee just got hotter, announcing the buys of summer at Ewald Automotive Group. Get the lowest prices guaranteed on new vehicles. Ewald will beat your best price by $500, or they'll pay you $500 cash guaranteed. With over 1,500 vehicles to choose from, you'll be sure to find the perfect ride for your family. 11 brands, 10 locations, one easy experience. So don't miss out on the Ewald Buys of Summer sales event going on right now with Ewald. It's always easy. It's why I have used them ever since I have moved to Milwaukee. I've trusted them for over a decade. You can trust them as well. See dealer for the details. Expires at month's end. Always starts at ewaldauto.com.
The big guy has a big adventure tonight. Headed to a supper club with some pals. Going to drive about an hour and 10 minutes to do so. So we've had folks weighing in this morning how far they would drive to go to a supper club. Michael in the 262 says, I have a group of friends that go to a few supper clubs every year. We've hit all the main local ones, and now we do a summer trip every year where we find a great Wisconsin supper club and a river to drink and float in. I think the bigger question is, how long would you wait for seating at a supper club? Last year in the Dells, we waited 4 hours for a table because Ishnala does not take reservations. 4 hours is insane.
Famously, yeah. The one time me and Z, my wife, went up there after we got married 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We ended up eating dinner at like 5 o'clock because we went early knowing that there was going to be a long wait.
That's okay. I'd rather do that than wait 4 hours.
No. What we did is we went there at 5 o'clock or so, put our name in, not even showered, went home, showered, came back maybe, because their 4 hours is probably 3-ish, not really 4. And then we came back, went to the bar, had a couple drinks. It's probably an hour and a half. Bada boom, bada bing. There you go.
Bada boom, bada bing.
I'll never wait that long for anything.
For anything?
No.
I'm trying to think like a shoe drop
There
or like
is
a
not,
new iPhone.
There is not a quality of food.
Do you know who you're talking to?
There's not a quality of food that would be worth 3 hours of waiting time. There's just simply not.
But again, if you can do what Chewy did and sort of beat the system, then you're not really waiting the 3 hours. You've just found things to occupy, right? Things that you need to do to occupy that time. Chewy was going through the menu, by the way.
He's so excited.
That's what I said. An hour ago, he was excited. It's increasing by the moment.
It seems a little bougie. I can wear shorts, right?
Yeah, it's a supper club. Yeah, of course you can wear shorts.
What about the backwards hat, though?
No. I'll put some gel in and. So I can wear the standard uni.
What did you find when you were looking at the menu?
I mean, there's a lot of steaks. I know what I'm going with.
I thought you were doing prime rib, or no? You've already backed off.
I don't think there's prime rib.
Saving it all for Saturday.
Kansas City strip. You ever have it? Oh, delish. There's a cowboy ribeye too, which is bringing it.
Remember what we were talking about in the break, Chew?
Nope. What?
We're going to sit here until you figure it out.
The oysters?
Hey!
Yeah.
This is a preview of Reach You, by the way.
Yeah. Jen, was some lady ordered how many?
I saw a lady on Instagram. So Chewy mentioned that they have oysters. Are you going to get oysters tonight? Okay. So you're going to get oysters. This lady on Instagram went to a happy hour where they were serving dollar oysters, and she ordered 80 of them.
I could crush.
80 oysters?
I've done 2 dozen.
It's not
standing. All right, let me ask you this.
All right.
I love that he keeps comparing 2 dozen to 80.
Hold on. What is the ratio of wings to oysters? 3 oysters equals 1 wing?
Nah.
Probably.
Yeah? I don't think it's so much the amount of food. I think it's the texture that you would get tired of.
You just don't love oysters enough.
I know. I love oysters. Yeah. No, I love them. But like after, again, guys, I'm going to throw out some crazy numbers here. After 50 oysters,
still got 30 to go.
You got that wiggly oyster now, and 49 of his buddies rolling around in your belly. That's where I think you would be cashed out.
And just because you could eat a ton of wings 30 years ago, pal, I hate to break it to you.
The most I had was 65.
Yeah, when?
A long time ago.
1980.
We shut down the ground round, which is one of the all-time.
I also think she was doing a thing there, as much as. Like, when you set out to this, the goal is I'm going to have an absurd amount of oysters, and despite me probably not feeling so good after 40, 50, 60, I'm now just trying to prove
Exactly. But he doesn't need to do that. But he was so confident in saying that he could crush 80 oysters. Now I want to see him try.
A Saturday afternoon.
Where are you getting
Saturday
80 oysters?
afternoon.
I know
where.
And more importantly, who's paying for the 80 oysters?
Listen, I'll cash in my kid's college fund. I mean, how expensive could 80 oysters be?
At least she did it on Dollar Oyster Day.
Well, exactly. She took advantage of the system.
Yeah, but a Saturday afternoon, Brewers on TV, air-conditioned bar.
I've got the perfect
3 hours, crush 80.
You guys
standing on my head.
You guys have heard me talk about Noble Catering, Vault, all that. They do dollar oysters. We won't even. You know what? When you do these things, they usually give you little perks to head over there, get you invited. I could do this for free. We could do a whole thing.
We could do a whole thing.
Where is it?
It's about 4 blocks from where we currently are.
You're driving an hour and 10 minutes to go to a supper club. You can drive 4 minutes.
So what, you're saying one morning we just post up there?
No, you can't do it in the middle of the week.
What do you? Okay, so now we're gonna get all of the stipulations.
Not the stipulations. The excuses of why it's never going to actually happen, and he doesn't have to back up whatever he's saying.
I would say we should just do a remote from there, but I don't know if they're going to open up at 7 a.m. to let us crush oysters.
It's totally worth exploring, Joshy. Totally worth
Hit up
exploring.
my friend Dan. We'll figure
Who
it out.
thinks Chewy could crush 80 oysters?
Show of hands.
Easily. Yeah, me and Josh.
It's always interesting how the allegiances pan out here.
I know.
You and Josh.
You're not showing up to work the next day.
Well, yeah.
I can't do it. Nah, middle of the week.
Hold on,
I did the fries. That was enough.
I also need to know.
You had a handful of fries.
I know.
I also need to know what you put on your oysters, because this is also going to affect the rumbly tumbly. Do you do lemon juice? Do you do the vinegar that they send with it? Are you doing hot sauce? Like
all the above. Horseradish.
No chance.
Horseradish.
Zero.
Horseradish.
Zero.
Although the vinegar, whatever they do, that is bringing it. That's good stuff. Is that what it is? Ooh, that's good. I'm getting hungry. Anything in the freezer?
Oh, you just got 11 hours
Are my
until
hot dogs still up there?
11 hours.
We got a lot of ketchup.
Till the supper club.
We do have a lot of ketchup.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on right after this. Stick around.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
We got delays westbound 94 coming out of the Marquette all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 43 backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue up towards Keefe. Westbound 894 backing up out of the Mitchell interchange out towards 68th Street. So give yourself a little bit of extra time there. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Isolated morning showers, then cloudy early with more sun later on in the afternoon. A high of 83. And then tonight, partly cloudy, lower humidity with a low of 63. Weather is brought to you by Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin's Road America. Cheese Capital Cup is coming June 27th through the 29th. Get your tickets today and check out the full season schedule at roadamerica.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
With more than 35,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served more than 5 million people globally. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Brian Balaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
And Dario looks over at me and says, "Oh my gosh, I know why you're sneezing so much." He says, "You're sneezing through your mouth. You have to sneeze through your nose."
Love meeting new people. You know, that's how you really do learn about life.
God bless you.
Thank you.
I wasn't going to say anything, but then I could see that he wasn't going to open his mouth.
I said, "What?"
Excuse me?
He said, "Everybody knows that sneezes are because something is tickling the hairs in your nose. And the only way to stop sneezing is to expel what is in your nose. And the only way to do that is to sneeze through your nose."
I said, God bless you. Was that so wrong?
The question is, did you allow a space for the husband to come in with his God bless you? Because as the husband, he has the right of first refusal.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Keep getting us your reactions to Chewy's question this morning, which is, how far would you drive for a good supper club? Our guy, 70 minutes tonight, 70-ish minutes tonight to get to the Good Supper Club. And he is so excited about it. There is some salivating going on. I've heard his belly rumbling a few times.
I mean, he is so excited that he took on his own laptop something else other than ESPN.com front page is on his laptop right now. He actually figured out how to Google the menu for this website.
And he's been staring at it ever since, right?
They didn't have dessert on there, though.
Ooh.
But it's kind of, I'm not a full dessert. I'm a split with the wife.
Well, especially there because the portions are going to be plenty.
That's always so tricky, though. Do you guys like the same desserts?
I don't usually get dessert, but here I will, and I usually swing with whatever she wants.
Yeah, I'm an equal opportunity desserts kind of consumer. So whatever my wife wants, I'm good with.
Do you guys do what Chewy's doing? The scouting the menu before going somewhere.
100%.
I do it religiously.
Yeah,
absolutely. I know before stepping foot, before crossing the threshold.
I mean, Chewy, how'd you guys do this in 1994 when you couldn't just look up the menu on a website before you went somewhere?
You go to the same place
over and over again.
Yeah.
I want to get to this Pro Football Focus ranking. So we talked about this yesterday when Gabe was off the show, how they ranked the current and returning, I guess it's returning NFL head coaches. Matt LaFleur not on the list. It stirred up a lot of conversation here in Wisconsin about whether or not he has done enough to earn a top 10 spot on that list. And Gabe came up with a pretty interesting situation because Pro Football Focus, as they are wont to do during the offseason, has now done rankings for several of the defensive units. And Gabe, when you looked at the rankings for the defensive units, where did the Packers shake out in these rankings?
So far on Pro Football Focus, they have ranked defensive line and linebackers. And I mean, we have been critical of the defensive line, as we should. And they came in at 24th. No shock there.
Woof.
No shock, right? I mean, it's not great.
No, I mean, that's the thing. It's like sometimes when you're just face to face with it and you're like, ugh, that's how I feel when you're telling me that they are the 24th ranked. And again, because Brian Gutekunst and company think that they can get better, that they will get better, and that's why they haven't done any wholesale changes to the unit.
And then the linebacking core, who we're all excited about Edgerrin Cooper, but outside of that, I guess, there's not a ton of star power or even good play. The Packers are 18th in PFF's linebacker unit. Yeah, I thought that could be higher, but obviously is not. So my question to PFF is, if the Packers are here, and I mean, we were talking about their pass catching unit, how that was down in the 20s. Like the only thing they've done well in so far is the running back group has been top 10. That's it of the Pro Football Focus rankings that they've put out. So if all these position groups are below average, are down below 16th. They're not even hanging around league average. They're below average, down near the 20s. How the hell is Matt LaFleur not a top 10 coach?
Yeah, no, I agree. And Halfley. Because if you gave this defense, well, Joe Barry Carroll kind of did have this defense and was not very good with it. But it just shows you what a premium having a good D coordinator is. Because I would think corners, depends how they do it. I mean, safety's probably top 10. Gabe?
I would think
Xavier McKinney?
So. Yeah.
But corners?
If that's the way they do that. Corners are probably going to be
18.
around average. Yeah, right around that number, probably.
So what would you give them? A 13? Would you be okay with a 13, 12,
if
13?
You're combining the two?
For defensive backs?
Yeah.
Yeah, right around that top 10. Maybe probably just on the outside of it.
Yeah. What about the O-line, though? O-line's got to be top 10.
Yeah,
they haven't done O-line yet?
They have not done O-line.
My
I've not
guess
seen an
is
O-line
they'll be
list.
top 10. They have to be.
But, like, again, the other people on this, I know Jason brought it up with Sean Payton. Like, again, whoever Sean Payton's PR team is, just hire them. The guy just unbelievable. Like John Harbaugh makes sense. Mike Tomlin makes sense.
Well, but I said this yesterday, Gabe. Like when you talk to people like around league circles, he is very well respected amongst league people. Sean Payton.
Why?
I am not a league person. I don't know, but like when you talk to people who are in that sphere, very, very well respected, pretty much across the board.
Yeah, and he's a good guy. I mean, Sean's good, and he's a good coach.
Yeah,
I'm not two.
Do I think he's the second best coach in the league?
No,
I do not.
No.
I do not.
No.
And honestly, I think this is a big season for Kyle Shanahan, who's number 7 on that list. Because you want to talk about his quarterback? Oh, well, his quarterback has never done anything. Kyle Shanahan has never done anything without a stacked roster. Put Kyle Shanahan in Green Bay. They go into the playoffs the last handful of years?
They kind of have Green Bay's number, though.
Right, but we talked about how, to his
head to
point,
head.
they're the Avengers, right? They had just assembled this incredible group of athletes, and it'll be interesting to see how that continues to change as some of those guys have now been shipped off.
I mean, well, yeah, and last year to me was a big prove-it year for, if it was a big prove-it year for Purdy, why couldn't it be a big prove-it year for Shanahan? Hey, especially now you can pay your quarterback, those two have to work in concert together to be better because they're not going to be able to afford all the top-paid guys that they have over the last 3 or 4 years.
I still think he's a good offensive mind.
So what is the unit? You mentioned running backs, but I think that your point is well made of make it make sense. Yeah. How can the Packers be so bad when you rank each of these units individually and yet be a perennial playoff team? That's what we're trying to figure out. Your argument is it must be the coach. He must be elevating him and his staff, must be elevating them to playoff caliber teams. I'm a little hesitant to give them all of that credit, but what I do think it does is illustrates maybe the flaw in trying to break the parts of the whole to determine rankings, right? Because, again, you would think that by doing this, Philadelphia Eagles are number 2, the Steelers are number 1. There's got to be a scale with the units being weighed, right? And we haven't seen quarterbacks yet, but if I had to guess, Jordan Love will be outside the top 10. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, but this all goes to lack of superstars. Yeah, you can beat average teams, but they lost every big game last year. They lost against superstars because you don't have any superstars.
Yeah.
Right? We talked about it. What's your marquee? Your biggest win was against Houston. And Houston is a good team.
Well, and maybe that's as simple as it is, Chew. Maybe when PFF is putting all this stuff together, certainly production matters, and they will look at stats and see, how they're shaking out against the competition. But the reason the Pittsburgh Steelers are number 1 on this list of defensive line rankings from Pro Football Focus is T.J. Watt and Cam Hayward. It says it right there, right? And is there anybody in this world who thinks that those two aren't bona fide superstars in this league? Hayward to a less degree than Watt. But, who is the marquee person on the Packers? Rashawn Gary?
On the D-line, you're saying?
This is the D-line list that we're talking about right now.
It was Kenny Clark until last year, right? And then he had just a horrible year.
Most likely to improve over here, Kenny Clark.
Yeah.
You respect him.
Edge defender Rashawn Gary's PFF overall grade has declined in 3 straight seasons since his career best 2021 campaign, and he ranked only 49th among edge defenders with a 67.7 PFF pass rush grade in 2024.
They screwed up. But he had a track record of being like this. At Michigan, I think he was the second highest rated high school prospect ever, and he did nothing at Michigan. And then he had a good combine, and then potential, and then he had flashes in the pan, and then he reverted back to good old Michigan.
The line
they screwed up.
The line that Gabe read about Rashawn Gary is important. The line above it says, none of the Packers' 4 former first-round picks along the defensive line are performing at the expected level. Ugh.
It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Stinky. Self-praise stink PU.
Yep, Charlene.
But you don't even have the self-praise part. This just stinks PU.
This is just, yeah.
Somebody starts self-praising, and I don't know what they're going to do because it's bad.
Maybe when we get to the offensive side of Pro Football Focus's rankings, it will make a little more sense because maybe the offensive, again, we've talked about running backs. Maybe when you talk about Jordan Love, maybe when you talk about the wide receivers, again, we have talked about.
But they did the pass catchers. The pass catchers were down in the 20s.
Oh, I didn't even see that list.
Yeah.
So the pass catchers are in the 20s. Yes. The running backs are in the top 10, and they haven't done quarterbacks yet. They're most likely holding that till last.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the most important player behind Jordan Love?
Josh Jacobs.
No. I think if you plug in,
again, Jen.
It's going to hurt, but I think, who's the running back that Wilson? What's his name?
Emmanuel Wilson?
Yes.
He
averaged 5 yards per carry. He's still pretty. He's not Josh Jacobs, but he's pretty damn good.
He likely won't get as many touches as Marshawn Lloyd.
Yeah, because they like him because they drafted him in the 3rd round.
Correct.
It's kind of a Rashad. Who's the left tackle? I'm happy.
This is fun.
Yeah. You know what's going to be fun? Reachew's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Bet the under.
Joshua was already taunting you yesterday, and I feel like his confidence is only growing.
I would almost say Tucker Kraft.
Tucker Kraft is the second most important player on the offense.
Give me someone else.
Your tight end is showing.
I think if you lose him, you lose. No? Gabriel?
It's got to be the left tackle, guys, right?
No.
If you don't agree that it's Josh Jacobs, which I still stand by.
Second most important player on the offense. It might be Elton Jenkins because I don't know what they do at center if he goes down. Like everywhere else, I've got an answer. I've got an answer for a lot of other that I do not have an answer for.
Well, I think this is interesting how we're interpreting most important. Because you're basically saying if this person were to go down, they don't have an answer for it.
From a standpoint, game plan changes. Game plan flat out changes.
I still think it's Josh Jacobs based on how they used him last year. Again, remember, what's the stat, guys? Help me out with this one. This was the first time since that they ran the ball more than they threw the ball, right? They were up over 50% running the ball. I don't know what the year was, but that's out there.
Probably 2004.
But that was all based upon...
Yeah, because it was
so
Amon Green, wasn't it?
It wasn't so
Probably
much
03,
Josh
04, something like
Jacobs.
that.
It's like no one else emerged from the receiver position. Right? I mean, I guarantee LaFleur went into last season going, all right, let's run it 40, let's throw it 60. And then he's like,
Well, then you had the injury, and then you started running the ball efficiently. Nobody
Yeah.
emerged, so you just kind of ran with the plan after Jordan Love got hurt, and you had to run it more with Malik.
Yeah.
We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We've got Week in Rechew coming up next, and if this past segment was any indication, it's going to be a doozy. Chewy just talked about how you should bet the under. You know where you can bet the under on all of the things? Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee at their sportsbook. This July, you could burn some major rubber on a custom Harley-Davidson of your dreams in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. That's right. They are giving away a Harley-Davidson. Just play your rewards card all July for entries, Thursday drawings for extra cash, and reward play. Fire Up Your Fantasy is only at Potawatomi this summer. More information is available online. You must be 21 years old and a rewards member to play.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound 43, we've got some backups coming up from Fond du Lac Avenue up towards Keefe. Southbound's nice and clear. Northbound 41, backing up just before Mayfair Road up to just past Capitol. Southbound side of 41, also very clear. Westbound 94, a little bit tap of the brakes in through the Stadium interchange to about Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound has eased up nicely, so we're looking good all the way into the Marquette. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Isolated morning showers, then cloudy early with some more sun in the afternoon, a high of 83. Tonight, partly cloudy, lower humidity with a low of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Favre, Rodgers, Love, great player, great player, great player. If you're in the crowd that believes he is going to be on par with those other two, then this is a pivotal year for him to show that he is capable of doing that.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
There's a difference between we can win with him and we win because of him.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Do you want a chance to win $1 million? Check out all the fun that Potawatomi Casino Hotel is bringing to Summerfest, from free admission to a chance at winning $1 million. Hey, it's Jen Latta. I'm here with Sarah Neubauer from Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Let's start with the free admission to Summerfest. Tell us all about it.
Well, getting in free to Summerfest has never been easier, and Potawatomi is so proud to partner with Summerfest to provide this Fan Appreciation Day. On Saturday, July 5th, anyone arriving between noon and 3 p.m. can get in free.
It is that simple. All you have to do to get free admission into Summerfest is arrive from noon till 3 p.m. on July 5th. And some lucky Summerfest goers will get more than just free admission, right?
Yes, the first 30,000 people to come through the gates on July 5th will receive an admission ticket for Summerfest 2026 and a big win entry ticket.
Okay, wait. We all know what the big gig is, but what's the big win?
The big win is where 5 lucky winners will have a chance to win $1 million and a guaranteed share of $10,000.
That is awesome. It's like having Potawatomi right at Summerfest. So how do people enter into the Big Win contest?
To participate in the Big Win drawing, just drop your Big Win entry ticket in a specially marked bin inside the Summerfest Midgate between noon and 3 p.m. on July 5th. The 5 winners are selected at 4 o'clock p.m. at the Miller Lite Oasis stage that same day.
And that's for a chance to win $1 million. And maybe you're looking to play more games and win some more prizes. Just head over to the Potawatomi Street Team, right?
Yes, we'll be there on July 5th near Midgate from noon to 5. We'll play games, win prizes such as reward play, front row passes, and swag.
Where can everybody go to learn more?
Potawatomi.com.
That's POTAWATOMI.com.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an east side event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Have you never had a good pie?
I've had fine pies.
You get no pie.
Right now, yeah.
I mean, seems that way anyway. But if we get him on those dating sites, it feels like maybe he could.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Guys, I'm telling you, if you are making those plans to propose that special someone in your life, you already know what I'm going to say. There's only one place to go in Milwaukee. You know it's the Jewelry Center. I had an idea. I went to shoptjc.com, looked at a couple of rings, then went in, talked with the team that Dean, the dancing machine, has put together there at the Jewelry Center, and they helped me, pointed me in the right direction. I knocked it out of the park. Maybe you don't have an idea. Well, take a look at our Pinterest page. See if there's anything there. Bring those ideas in. The team at the Jewelry Center is really what separates them. They're never going to point you in the wrong direction. Whether you're looking for a naturally mined diamond, lab-grown diamond, whatever you're in the market for, when it comes to that engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. Check out their inventory. Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington. Online, shoptjc.com. When you go to the Jewelry Center, make sure you tell them that Gabe and Chew sent you.
Think you know the show better than the average ESPN Milwaukee fan? Now's your chance to prove it. It's time to play The Week in Rechew.
Well, I already know the answer to this question.
Well, I could have told you yesterday before the last segment, because when Joshy texts you and says you have no chance,
yeah,
it means he stacked the deck. Call it cheating. So I have no confidence whatsoever because he's already talking crap.
Isn't that the point? He was trying to mess with your confidence, and you let him.
Nah, he's
got in his noggin. No, I was less talking about the difficulty. I contend there is an all-time line in this that I think if you had your druthers would not exist.
Okay, fair enough. I'm intrigued.
All right, let's go ahead. Start with question number 1, Joshy.
And Chew,
what?
Can we hear it again?
And Chew,
Dicky.
And Chew,
Dicky. Oh, the pitcher for
Chew,
the Mets.
What team did now DFA'd Dicky Lovelady play for?
The Mets.
And Chew,
Dicky. Right?
I think it's the Mets.
It is the Mets. That is the correct answer.
Oh, in your face, in the face. Was that a tough one?
I think he is just more amused by the fact that he has you saying,
I like Dicky.
You love Dicky.
So I think Joshy was chuckling to himself while making that question yesterday.
Okay.
All right, 1 for 1. Question number 2.
I made that up.
What lie did you tell Adam Schefter about himself?
What lie? I have no idea. What lie did I tell Adam Schefter? I essentially called him a liar?
No. You made up something about Adam Schefter to make a larger point, and Adam Schefter said, "Who told you that?" And you said,
that he loves Rodgers. Or he's number 4.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
We got all the makings
Adam
of an
thought I
upset
was
here, Joshy.
serious, too. Was he?
Who told you that? Yes, that's exactly what it was. I did not remember that at all.
Well, yeah. When you are somebody who is a reporter and their words matter, and they get told something that they supposedly believe, they're going to question it.
But it's very well known that there is a rift between the two of them.
What was your first hint?
Get rid of my number, right?
Well,
yeah, I don't know if there's a riff. I think that Aaron Rodgers just doesn't like our guy Shefty.
I think Aaron Rodgers just doesn't like people.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Anybody
Shefty
who
likes
reports or
Rodgers?
talks about football.
I think he's indifferent towards Rodgers. I don't
Okay.
think he dislikes Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he should. He'd feel much better. Because if someone doesn't like me, I don't like them right back. Right?
Didn't you just tell us recently you don't care what people think?
I'm sure I did.
Sounds like you're unsure if you did.
2 for 2 right out of the gate. Question number 3.
I bet you guys didn't know this, that my next door neighbors.
What piece of information did your next door neighbors teach you, and then you in turn shared with us?
This one I have no idea. You know?
Mm-mm.
I don't even talk to my neighbors. How can they teach me anything? Florida or here?
Ooh, that actually might.
You didn't clarify.
Oh. Play it one more time.
It was here.
Play it again.
I bet you guys didn't know this, that my next door neighbors.
What piece of information did your next door neighbors teach you, and then you shared with us?
I have no idea.
Cinnamon deters insects.
Darn it, yes.
Oh, that was at the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, to keep the birds from crapping in the sandbox. Yeah. That's all right. I get half.
Why?
Because he didn't say lake. If he said lake, I would have got it.
You have too many properties for
Tell
me
my wife.
for
Tell
me
my
to keep
wife.
track. Whatever
Yes.
neighbors you're talking about.
Hardly Gabe's fault you can't keep your homes straight.
And you guys didn't know it either, so
I mean, I
helped you
did.
out there. You knew?
Show
I
of
mean, I've
hands.
got the answer in front of me.
No, I thought you were talking about the cinnamon factoid that he shared
no,
with
I
us.
had no idea.
I used cinnamon when I got ants in one of my house plants.
I have used cinnamon in my garbage bins to keep the rodents out, you know?
Okay. Fair. You ever tried to light it on fire? I'm going to put some in the fire next time.
The garbage gondola? No, I haven't tried
No, the
lighting
cinnamon.
the cinnamon on fire.
Yeah, because I'm huge on lighter fluid, which
That
bothers
tracks.
a lot of people.
That tracks. I can
Right?
see that for you.
Yeah.
Why not just go gasoline at that point?
Ooh, don't do that. I've done that before.
Also,
Yeah.
not surprising.
Not a good idea.
Everything you have said
Yes.
makes sense about you. All right, you're still looking for the elusive third correct answer to win this week on We Can Reach You. Joshy, question number 4.
I think you need to butt out.
Whoa.
I think we got a skill issue at hand.
Whoa, that is.
That was a shot.
I'm uncomfortable now.
Which of your skills did Joshy call into question this week?
Spelling?
Could be.
I mean, I think that also happened, but I don't think that. I don't
Sure
think,
it has.
But
Didn't you
that's not
spell?
the answer to this specific question.
Didn't you spell Jacob Jocob?
Yeah. I'm Polish. I know a Jakob. He's a potato farmer in Hadley, Mass. What?
Are you
Did
going
I
to answer
lose?
this question?
Amish?
What's the question?
Which of your skills did Joshy call
I
into question?
said spelling. I have no idea.
Your grilling skills. Your
He questioned my grilling
He
skills?
Oh,
did.
was this
Why?
burger?
You said it was too thin to properly cook on a grill, and I said if you could control your heat, you wouldn't have this problem.
I still think the candle line from him is one of my all-time favorites. Never done it with a candle before.
I gotta try a smash though. smash burger?
Yeah, they're good.
Okay.
Okay, started off hot. Got the first two. Last two, not so great. Question number 5 for the win.
Yeah, it was technically a blowout.
See, this is why you're the most angry, because you get in a fight with Josh, and the first thing you do
Dime me
is
out.
dime me out.
They're both
They texted him.
Oh, there's so much information there.
There's
too.
a lot.
What event did Joshy blow off this past weekend for which you instantly snitched on him?
He was... Friends of his got engaged, invited him out on a Sunday, and he went... He Mike Sherman'd him. To which I said, you should have switched and not went to the national anthem on Monday and hung on Sunday. That seemed like a lot less work and a lot more fun.
That message about me skipping out and then giving them a shout out reached multiple people who they hadn't told about their engagement yet, who said, I think they just talked about you being engaged on the radio.
That never occurred to us, did it?
And then the clip had made it around to the friend group, so when I arrived, everybody there was aware.
Was like, thanks.
That's an
not my
excellent
fault.
point.
Technically not my fault, though, right, Gabe?
It's 100% your fault.
No, it is not.
All the way your
Because
fault,
Joshy
actually.
didn't say, don't say this on the radio.
He didn't. And I wouldn't have remembered. I still would have said it.
You would have.
I know. I still would have.
It doesn't matter.
It is fascinating, though, that any situation, just even laced with a tinge of drama, embeds itself in his brain. Like he knew every detail of that story, and like it's really impressive, Chewy.
He
Chew,
just locks in. He's actually interested in listening.
Yeah.
and
I
Chew,
love Dicky. You like that?
and
I
Chew,
love Dicky. I love Dicky.
Chewy got the win.
You know what a Dicky is?
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
thing.
Well, I've never been able to figure out why those existed.
It's what's the
I
guy?
tried.
What's the guy from Vacation? The cousin Eddie.
You didn't bite on the Dicky.
I hope not.
We used to have, when I first went to Green Bay, this is how cheap they were. They wouldn't give us turtlenecks. They'd give us Dickies made of wool. In 92, yes. I swear to God.
Wait.
Well,
They
at
had
least it's
them from the
only
60s.
on this part and this part, and not the whole thing. I don't
What?
want to wear a wool turtleneck.
But
They wouldn't give us turtlenecks, Gabe. I swear.
man,
Is that why the Dicky existed? A cost-saving measure?
It did in Green Bay.
Because I can't, for the life of me, figure out why you wouldn't just wear the turtleneck.
And you should have seen the shorts they gave us. They were nut huggers. They were the worst. You couldn't even move in them.
Well, I mean, in the 90s, that was
No, that wasn't hip.
late 80s, you know, a bunch of white dudes
Yeah,
wanted
it's
to
a
wear the
little
John
behind the
Stocktons. Yeah, just a little behind the times.
Oh, were they bad?
Ooh.
When I Google searched why do Dickies exist, it thought I was talking about the overalls. So I got to do a deeper dive.
Thought I was going to be talking about something else. Not going to lie.
Jen, when two people love each other very much, we got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. It has really devolved into a Friday show over here at 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Finding the right home is a journey. Sometimes it'll be quick. Sometimes you have to be patient, but it should always be exciting. The We Sell Group at Keller Williams understands that. They're not just about closing deals. They're about building relationships and helping you find the right fit for your family. I have loved working with the folks over at the We Sell Group because they have been so thorough during our search. Maybe you're ready to move right now. Maybe you're just starting to look, or maybe you're thinking about selling. Either way, the We Sell Group is on the journey with you every step of the way. Start your journey today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound 43, we've got some backups coming up from Fond du Lac Avenue up towards Keefe. Southbound's nice and clear. Northbound 41, backing up just before Mayfair Road up to just past Capitol. Southbound side of 41, also very clear. Westbound 94, a little bit tap of the brakes in through the Stadium interchange to about Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound has eased up nicely, so we're looking good all the way into the Marquette. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Isolated morning showers, then cloudy early with some more sun in the afternoon, a high of 83. Tonight, partly cloudy, lower humidity with a low of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaki County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer cater to golfers of all skill levels. Settled amongst over 250 acres of beautiful private land, the Bog offers a truly unforgettable golf experience. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, and after your round, have a signature cocktail while enjoying our Friday fish fry from the clubhouse overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Is it against the law to be a moron or no?
The law.
Not yet.
I texted this to Jen earlier. The law does protect some people from things that are called an attractive nuisance.
On 94.5 ESPN.
To say, little housekeeping here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. First, turtleneck Dickies serve the purpose of adding warmth and a layered look to an outfit without the bulk and extra material of a full turtleneck shirt or sweater. Detachable collars and Dickies can easily be removed, cleaned, and replaced without the need to wash an entire shirt. If you were wondering why Dickies exist.
So, a bad idea. Especially in the NFL, because you want, like, the full thing for all of the warmth when you're playing in November and December in Green Bay.
Well, this is an excellent segue, because Joshy, I think it was you or Gabe brought us the information that in the next few years, within the next decade or so, Lambeau Field may be the only open-air stadium in the league. Now, I want to be clear. we have talked, not at length, but occasionally, about the Bills and how they're building a new stadium and how it will famously be open air. And I have pushed back on that, saying, you play in freaking Buffalo. You have Josh Allen. Give him a dome. Give him a roof. Give him a controlled environment so that they can host playoff games and have an advantage, all of those things. I do not feel the same way about Lambeau Field because of the historic nature of Lambeau Field. Every time a list comes out of the best stadiums/arenas in the country, almost unanimously, Lambeau Field is number one on the list. I saw a recent one that came out a few weeks ago. Lambeau Field, number one on the list. I'm not saying put a roof on Lambeau. I'm saying that if you're the Buffalo Bills and you're building a new stadium and you're not dealing with the historic nature of your stadium, you should put a roof on. Gabe?
I'm for open-air stadiums all over the place. From my understanding, football is supposed to be played in elements in the weather. And again, the reason why this is coming up, the Browns just got $600 million in taxpayer money to build a new stadium. It's going to have a dome. Chiefs trying to get Missouri to give them taxpayer money to help renovate Arrowhead. And if they don't, they're going to be talking to the state of Kansas about potentially building a domed stadium in Kansas. Bears, their new stadium in Arlington Heights features a dome. Commanders want to build a new stadium in D.C., also featuring a dome. Titans already breaking ground on a domed stadium. So right now we're looking at Buffalo, Jacksonville, Green Bay, Miami.
So
as potentially the only 4 open-air stadiums.
And those will all be field turf. So much for player safety and that whole dust-up with Bakhtiari years ago. You think Green Bay will ever go to field turf? I mean, I was shocked when Notre Dame went to field turf because they got more money than whatever.
So you're saying they could afford to maintain the grass?
Yes.
But it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I can't imagine that they...
You don't think so?
Well, because it's, again, part of the aesthetic of Lambeau. Playing in the open air is also having... again, they've got the synthetic stuff now.
Yeah.
But it's, still having that, maintaining it. I feel like that's a part of the aesthetic of Lambeau Field.
So here's the other thing, right? To me, this is a math thing. There's 17 games in the regular season. Yes, if you host playoffs, there's more. Rodgers even said the other day, we're hoping to play 20 games or 21 games or whatever it was. Half of those are at home. Half of those are in pretty decent weather at Lambeau Field. So we're talking about such a small number of games at Lambeau Field. Again, would I love for them to host playoff series? I would. I would also like to remind people that the coldest I have ever been in my entire 44 years of existence was at Lambeau Field for a playoff game covering the Green Bay Packers. I think I almost lost a toe. So to me, if all of these other stadiums go to dome, retractable roof, whatever it is, it makes Lambeau even that much more unique. If you want the experience of the open air, if you want the experience of, come to Lambeau Field. We're the only ones that have it.
Yeah, I can't imagine they ever put a dome on Lambeau.
Oh, no.
Never do it.
No.
They'll just continue to renovate it the way that they have. Because, again, just the way it looks now, not just the stadium, but the way it looks now, Chew, and everything around the stadium versus when you showed up talking about the Dickies and everything that you went and talking about, Ed Policy saying, well, you get priority number 2 is making sure we keep the Packers in Green Bay. Like, this is why I firmly believe that was an edict that Bob Harlan had when you were there.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were that cheap. The money wasn't flowing in the way it does in the NFL now. And they had to do certain things to make sure the Packers stayed in Green Bay. And they did those things. They were able to preserve Lambeau Field. And because they were able to do that, they're never going to do anything like put a roof on that stadium.
Where is the Bears Stadium at? Are they going downtown or are they going into Arlington?
Arlington
Heights.
They are going into Arlington?
I don't know that anything has been signed, sealed, and delivered.
No,
I haven't seen anything like that.
That's a stadium proposal.
Now, we got a lot of people weighing in on the Carbless Talk and Text line reminding us that there are many other stadiums that still are open air. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Baltimore, New York, from Josh in Heartland.
Mm-hmm.
Justin in Jacksonville saying, don't forget about the Eagles and the Jets. Those are still open air.
Mm-hmm.
What we're pointing at is this evolution of the stadiums across the board and how it seems that anytime there is a renovation or a new stadium, they're putting a roof on it. That is a part of these proposals. And I got to think it's because it gives a home field advantage to be able to control the elements.
I think we can look right down the street here at AmFam Field and the winterizing and the stuff they did. It's make it a multi-purpose venue and open it up
year
for
round
more money to keep going in.
Which is why I was surprised when they built MetLife. out in New York that they didn't just put a dome on that thing right away.
Right.
Just to be able to protect it from, the huge concerts that they have out there.
I hate domes.
Stuff like that.
Hate them. Hated playing in domes. I hope some of them are retractable.
See, and conversely, Aaron Rodgers loves playing in domes.
Yeah.
He likes the controlled environment, right? When he went on that playoff run, he was so much talk about Atlanta and being able to play in that environment.
You guys stunk in domes.
Yeah, we weren't real good in domes.
Probably why you hate it.
Yeah.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. For Mental Health Awareness Month, BetterHelp surveyed 16,000 people across 23 countries for its first ever State of Stigma report. And here's what they found. 75% of people know it's wise to seek support, but only 27% of Americans are actually in therapy. Why the disconnect? BetterHelp is trying to close that gap. They are offering very convenient therapy in your home. Click of a button. Switch therapists at any time. They've got 35,000 therapists. 5 million people globally have been served by BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, and you could be next. We are all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout. Because when people hesitate to get help, it doesn't just affect them, it affects their families, their workplaces, and entire communities.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I would just say that right now I think all options are on the table. I think that they went through that trade thing and they talked to teams, and it's not like those talks are shut down.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
But they didn't go anywhere. And when they don't go anywhere, it opens up the possibility they could be back.
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot Wisconsin sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $400 off your awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Smalls here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows. Binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on the warm weather vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take your shot with 5-Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5heshot.com for full details and rules and enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.
Evan Cohen here. We all know breakfast is an important part of your day, but when you're traveling for work and your hotel doesn't offer any, you're forced to make do with peanuts and an energy bar as you sprint off to your shift. But if you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can enjoy their free Bright Side breakfast featuring delicious baked goods, fruit, eggs, yogurt, and waffles. They refuse to let you go to work hungry and aim to send you off fueled up. Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Book direct at LQ.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
The Protect the Package golf outing takes place on August 16th at Ironwood Golf Course. Come be a part of the most unique outing in the state while helping loved ones battle cancer. Proceeds benefit the This Time Tomorrow Foundation. Sign up your foursome at thistimetomorrow.org under the Events tab.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn Road Circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. The Cheese Capital Cup is next on June 27th through the 29th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Just jump on it.
That's what he did.
Chewy, jump on it, jump on it, jump on it. Slow down.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Okay, then. A weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tune in to Hear District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Marcus and Chris, they talk about everything happening in the Bucks world. Stay on the beat of the Bucks and find Hear District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast. Chewy, you leaving now to get down to the old supper club?
No,
what are you going to do between now and then?
Got a little work to do.
Just
little.
Don't play the game before.
Little work to do?
No.
Can you send us some pictures? Send us some pictures from the supper club tonight. Have a great time. Have a great weekend, everybody. Wilde and Tausch is next on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
Northbound on 43, we are seeing delays from just before